Hi there, thanks for joining. When you want to learn to paint or mix colors, it's very important to know something about color bias. A yellow, for instance, can be relatively neutral. It can lean a little bit towards orange, or it can lean a little bit towards green. So, yellow can have a bias towards green or orange. And when you look at the color wheel, we can see here we have yellow, and when we go to the right, we go to the orange colors, and when we go to the left, we go to the green colors. And that's logical because when you've seen the first video about color mixing with the primary colors, we know that we can mix yellow with magenta. We can make a yellow that leans a little bit towards orange, or you can make it orange, or you can make it even red. And when you go the other way, you get cyan as a primary color, and then you can make your yellow a little bit more green, and you can make it a very green. And then you can make a blue that leans a little bit towards green, and then you have pure blue. There's logic about this. So the primary yellow is a relatively neutral yellow. When we go to the right, we get the yellows that lean a little bit towards orange. This yellow, for instance, is just slightly more orange than this one. I'll make it even more extreme. This one is more easy to see, I think. This one definitely leans towards orange already. And the other way around, when you see this yellow, it is leaning a little bit towards, it has a bias towards green a little bit. And you can do this with every color. Here I have a sort of a pure red. Here I have magenta. Well, the red can lean towards magenta when we go this way, but the red can also lean a little bit more to orange when we go the other way. And this is not only theory, this is in real life as well. Here you see some more orangey yellows, and some neutral yellows, and some yellows that lean a little bit more towards green, you see? And here again, some examples of red, and you see a red that leans a little bit more to purple, and a red that leans a little bit more towards orange. And of course, you can also have an orange that goes a little bit more towards red, and an orange that goes a little bit more towards yellow. That's always the same for every color. You can practice in real life without even painting. You can look around and try to judge, is this blue a neutral blue, or is it a little bit towards purple, or is it a little bit towards green? You can pick one color a day and you can look all around you and try to estimate that. And sometimes it's very difficult to see it when you see one isolated color. When I see a blue object with no other blues around it, it can be difficult to judge. So then you try to make a picture in your head of a neutral blue, and then you think, okay, I think this one leans a little bit more towards purple, or this one leans a little bit more towards green. What's also very interesting, of course, is when does a blue stop being a blue and when is it a green? At a certain moment we say now it's green, and it's more a green that leans a little bit towards blue, or it is a blue that leans towards green. But there's a fine line where that ends. And another thing you can do, for instance, when I see a yellow color and I'm not sure if it is neutral or more to orange or more to green, of course, I can take another object and compare the two objects, and then most of the times you'll get a better idea which one is more orange or green or neutral. This knowledge of color bias is very useful. If I want to make a vivid orange, it is way better to make it with a yellow that leans already a little bit towards orange, and a red that already leans a little bit towards orange. When I mix them, I should get a very bright orange color. And you can see it right away. So I can make all kinds of gradations, of course. See, all kinds of steps I like. But you can see you make very bright oranges with these colors. Here's another example. I've put two different kind of blues on my palette. This blue is cyan. And that's a very neutral blue. That's a primary blue color. This is cyan and this is ultramarine blue. And ultramarine blue already has that bias towards purple, so it also contains magenta. So it's not that as pure as cyan. Ultramarine consists of 2 primaries, therefore. Theoretically, it has cyan in it, and it has a little bit of magenta. So this color already consists of 2 primaries. So if I want to make a vivid green, I just mix cyan and primary yellow, and you get a very bright, vivid green. See, and of course also here I can adjust, I can make it more towards a yellow green or more towards a blue green. And that's all that bias story. But now I want to make a vivid green with ultramarine and primary yellow, and that's not gonna work. I can tell already, because whenever I mix 3 primaries, then I get a dull secondary color. And I've already told you, ultramarine is a color that contains 2 primaries already. And now I'll add the 3rd primary, and that is yellow. So when I mix these 2 together, you see something like this. And when I was young, I never understood. I wanted to make a bright green, and I got this. And at other times I didn't want to make a bright green, and I got a bright green, because I thought yellow and blue is green. But it all depends on which yellow and which blue you mix. And as I said earlier, this green can have also can have a bias, because it can lean a little bit more towards blue, you see? Can even make it more exaggerated, but of course you understand that. But this, and there is a point at which we say, okay, now it's a greenish blue. That can also happen. And but with this one I can also make it more yellow. So now my green has a bias towards yellow. If we add more yellow, we can say, oh, now I have a yellow with a bias towards green. So that's the whole game, and it's fun. And try to look around you with those eyes. Try to look, is that an orange red or a neutral red or a purplish red, and etc. Thanks for watching, see you next time.